Have you ever experienced that frustrating moment where you are in the middle of a conversation, you're feeling confident, you open your mouth to speak, and suddenly your mind goes completely blank? The word you learned just yesterday has vanished. It feels like your brain has a leak, doesn't it? You might think you aren't studying hard enough, or maybe you think you just have a bad memory. But I want to tell you something important. You are not lazy, and your memory isn't broken. The problem is simply how you are feeding information to your brain. Today, I'm going to walk you through the specific psychological triggers that turn short-term vocabulary into long-term mastery, so you never have to search for the right word again. Welcome. We need to start by understanding a simple truth about how the human brain processes language. If you find yourself forgetting words quickly, it is because your brain has classified those words as noise rather than necessity. Think of a word you see only once as a stranger on the street. You walk past them, you might glance at them, but 10 minutes later, you cannot recall their face. That's how your brain treats a vocabulary word you only read in a list. It's a stranger. But words that you use, words that you hear in context, and words that you connect with emotion, those become your friends. You don't forget your friends' faces. So, the question is, how do we turn these strangers into friends? How do we take a cold, new English word and make it a permanent part of your life? I'm going to share the most effective techniques to do exactly that. The first, and perhaps the most critical mistake students make, is isolating words. You might write a word on a list, read it, and think you know it, but that list is useless if the word doesn't have a home. You must place the word into a sentence that actually means something to you. Many people search for the secret to remembering vocabulary, and honestly, it starts here. Context. You cannot just learn a word. You must learn the situation. Let's look at a practical example. Take the word charge. If you just repeat charge, 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 your brain gets bored. It creates no neural pathways. But what does charge actually mean in a modern context? It means putting power into a device. So let's give it life. Instead of the word alone, tell yourself, I need to charge my phone. Feel the urgency of that sentence. Now expand it. Make it real. I need to charge my phone before I leave the house. Now it's a story. It's a scenario. Let's go further. Imagine you can't make a call. Why? I couldn't call you because my phone wasn't charged. Do you see the difference? We moved from a single word to a frustration, a situation, a reality. Let's try another one. The word is delay. This is a common word, but it often slips away when we need it. Delay simply means something happening later than expected. But don't memorize the definition. Memorize the frustration of the delay. Say to yourself, there was a delay at the airport. We've all been there. We know that feeling. Now give it a reason. The train was delayed because of the snow. And finally, make it personal, like you're apologizing to a boss or a friend. Sorry for the delay. My meeting ran late. By doing this, you're not just memorizing letters on a page, you're encoding the word into a social situation. This creates a much stronger memory hook. Let's go deeper with this. We want to move from simple sentences to mini stories. This helps you understand how words interact with other words. Consider the word borrow, to take something temporarily and return it. Don't just translate this word. Many students struggle with how to stop translating in your head, and the solution is to associate the English word directly with the action, not your native language. Let's build the narrative. First, the request. Can I borrow your pen? Next, the action. I borrowed a book from the library. And then, a conflict or a problem. He borrowed my bike and didn't return it. Suddenly, borrow isn't just a verb, it's a sequence of events. It's asking, receiving, and regretting. Your brain loves stories. It clings to narratives much better than it clings to data. When you create these sentences, you're essentially telling your brain, this information is useful for my survival and my social life. Let's do one more for this technique. The word is messy, not clean, disorganized. Look at your own life. My desk is messy. Look at a friend. Her hair looks messy today. Look at the aftermath of an event. The kitchen was messy after the party. By linking messy to your desk, your friend, and your kitchen, you have anchored the word in 3 different places in your mind. Now that we know how to form the sentences, we need to talk about when to do it. This is a rule you cannot ignore. If you want to own a word for life, you must use it quickly. I call it the 24-hour rule. The brain is an incredibly efficient machine. It constantly deletes information it deems unnecessary. If you learn a new word today and you don't use it, your brain says, "Oh, I guess this isn't important," and it throws it in the trash. You have to prove to your brain that the word matters. So here's the challenge. When you learn a new word, you must use it within the first day. Don't just think it, say it out loud. Let your ears hear your voice using the word. Write it down in a physical notebook. Better yet, text it to a friend. If you learn the word charge, text someone, "Hey, is your phone charged?" If you learn the word messy, say to yourself while cleaning, "Wow, this room is messy." The more you use the word in real-life sentences immediately after learning it, the faster it integrates to your subconscious. You're signaling to your brain, "Keep this. We need this."
Technique 4, personal emotional connection. We've covered context and timing. Now, let's talk about emotion. Emotion is the superglue of memory. This is why you can remember a specific moment from 5 years ago if you were very happy or very sad, but you can't remember what you had for lunch last Tuesday. To make vocabulary stick, make it personal. Connect the word to your own memories and feelings. Let's take the word nervous. Feeling worried or afraid before an event. Don't just learn the definition. I want you to think back to a time you felt nervous. Was it a job interview? Was it a date? Say the sentence, "I felt nervous before my job interview." Or bring it to the present. "I get nervous when I speak in English." By admitting that truth, by connecting the word nervous to your actual physical sensation of speaking English, you lock that word in. It belongs to you now because it describes your reality. Let's look at lonely. Sadness because you are alone. This is a strong emotion. Connect it to a memory. She felt lonely in the new city. Or perhaps, "I sometimes feel lonely when no one is around." He moved away and felt very lonely. When you wrap a word in emotion, your brain treats it as a high-priority file. It doesn't get deleted. Technique 5, visualization and mental movies. We are visual creatures. A huge part of our brain is dedicated to processing visual information. We can leverage this for English learning. You shouldn't just read a word, you should see it. You need to direct a little movie in your mind. Let's apply this to the word climb. To go up. I want you to close your eyes for a second. Don't just say the word. I want you to imagine a massive rocky mountain. Picture yourself standing at the bottom. You are wearing heavy boots, you have a backpack on, you look up at the peak. Now say the sentence, "I want to climb that mountain." See yourself walking up the path, feel the effort. We climbed to the top of the hill. Change the scene. See a child in a park. The child climbed a tree quickly. By creating this mental image, the boots, the mountain, the tree, you are creating a visual memory. It is much harder to forget a picture than it is to forget text. Next time you learn a word, ask yourself, what does this look like? Can I draw it? Can I act it out with my hands? If you can see it, you can peep it. Technique 5, categorization, the puzzle theory. Finally, I want to give you a tip that is an absolute game changer. Stop learning random words. If you learn one word from a cooking show, one word from a business article, and one word from a song, your brain struggles to organize them. It's like trying to build a puzzle using pieces from 5 different boxes. They don't fit together. Your brain loves categories. It loves patterns. You should learn words that live together. Let's try a cloudy cluster. Don't just learn cloudy, learn the whole story of a storm. Start with cloudy. The sky is full of clouds. It's cloudy today. I think it might rain. Then add breeze, a soft wind. There is a nice breeze this morning. Then escalate it to storm. The breeze stopped, a big storm came. The storm last night was very loud. Now look at what you've done. You haven't just memorized 3 isolated words, you've built a logical sequence. The clouds gathered, a breeze blew, and then the storm broke. Cloudy, breeze, storm. They hold hands in your brain. When you remember one, you will naturally trigger the memory of the others. You can do this with any topic. The airport, the supermarket, your bedroom. Group your words and they will support each other. Conclusion. So, let's review the blueprint for permanent vocabulary. Don't let words remain strangers. Invite them in. Don't just make lists. Build sentences that have real context. Use the word within 24 hours. Write it, speak it, text it, or lose it. Connect a word to your personal emotions and memories. Visualize it. Make a mental movie. And finally, learn in groups or categories so the words support one another. Learning English isn't just about memorization, it is about living with the language. It's about feeling it and using it to describe your world. If you practice these techniques, you won't just remember words, you will own them. I hope you found these techniques helpful and are ready to transform your English learning journey. If you want to keep improving and lighting up your language skills, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to English Glow. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.